World building. The scope of Nausicaa's world is a monolith of creativity. Its heights are unmatched by any other world I've seen fictionalized to story or etched to screen. The alien machinery from a past so different, its pinnacle is nearly unimaginable. The insects, the miasma-ridden forestry, the architecture, the people, the life, and the meaning of Nausicaa's story is also golden and uplifting. Seeing the mysteries of Nausicaa's world slowly unfold, seeing small sparks of the old world in all its magnificence. And still, in spite of all the loss from war, hatred and greed continue to fuel needless death and suffering in a world already so torn apart. But Nausicaa the character shows the best aspects of humanity. Nausicaa the main character is a warrior of justice. She loves all life, even the animals, though the miasma they create can kill humans. And so too, despite humans being responsible for the horrible destruction and death to this beautiful world and its people, she still loves all of them. The tale of Nausicaa starts with a map, and as the story progresses, we come to see all reaches of the land, the creativity and attire of each race of people, the Tolmekians, the periphery tribes, and the principalities of Dorok, the worm handlers and the other nomadic people living within the forest. They all have distinctly different cultural identities and ways of life shown through the story. So too are they easily identifiable by the differences in architecture and villages, the war attire of each clan and weaponry, the aircrafts. It's also creative and unique, rich with history of this fallen world. The civilization before the collapse, it is so alluring by the mystery it leaves. To see the ancient kingdom of Eftel in all its glory, all its secrets, and the world beyond, where the Dorok Empire hailed from before he colonized the lands of Dorok, Greater Tolmekia. There is so much to ponder. It's so mystical and intriguing. You're always seeing little fragments of this once grand technological monumentalist society, destroyed from nuclear fallout and unknown cosmic horror levels of destruction, created from bizarre technology that is bred and born into life. A living machine. The engineering of it all is so creative. The concept of breeding technology is like the book All Tomorrows, and has a similar alien feeling horror that precedes the entire novel. And the warlike horror that eclipses it all, the magnificent god warrior, so towering and mighty. I was completely captivated by the mystery and aura of this creature when I first watched Nausicaa. And it's even cooler in the manga. It has more presence and more to do with the plot. To see their wars and true battle purpose unleashed. These unimaginable wars that shape the current world of Nausicaa into its state, riddled with war and infection. It's so sad. All these beautiful cultures and people on the brink of extinction. The last of the human race, yet clawing to survive in this ravaged world. The indomitable human spirit, and all it must endure because of human greed in combination with the destructive warfare this accelerated industrial world has created. Spoilers. Despite the bleak world, there are so many awesome characters that are just pure joyous to watch. I'm cheering for every character's success. They are so likable. They're constantly performing jaw-dropping feats of greatness that have me mentally applauding. Mido, Kushana, Chiyuku, Aspel, Nausicaa, Lord Yupa, the Goat, Kurotoa. I was surprised because I hardly remember him from the film, but he is so involved in the Tolmekian Game of Thrones, subtly trying to plot against Kushana, but then going on to save her in such a courageous and heroic moment. I love this nigga. The story is filled with so many amazing moments like this. The Holy One saving Master Yupa, magnetizing the weapons to himself to let them escape, and how Yupa uses this saved life to intervene in a similar way, stopping a fight that could have killed hundreds. Something to note is that Yupa is very scholarly. He travels nigh on his entire life, trying to uncover the secrets of this world and its past. But after coming so close to finding the answer to this world before the collapse, right around the corner, within the sacred tombs, he gives up on his pursuit of knowledge to sacrifice himself for the betterment of mankind. Nausicaa saving the life of the ship worker exposed to toxic waste, then saving many lives on the front line, and then Kushana's men sacrificing themselves for her. Kushana's father saving Nausicaa. Nausicaa has a grand no enemies message. I think it is conveyed better than even Vinland Saga. Nausicaa and Lord Yupa are great fighters, but they only fight when they have to. They fight to defend people and the fate of humanity. They only war when it's absolutely needed, to defend what they love. The best moments of the story revolve around this, and Nausicaa, who was taught her values by her teacher Eupa, spearheads this love to humanity. There is so much wonderful history and people in Nausicaa that I scream and revel every time lives are saved. The greatest moments in battle are of people saving and defending each other. Nausicaa really embodies a lovely spirit. Just like her, for the sake of humanity, I dread every fight. I want them to succeed through the hell of this dystopian world. The unnecessary conflict and wars that have been created, a select few leaders making death for so many innocent, wars that destroyed so much beautiful human learning and justice, improvements to life and medicine, creativity and sanctuary, all these beautiful things that come with city and development, but so too come the potential for wrong use of this power through corrupt leaders and pointless wars for glory. Not saying the fighting isn't cool, the art of war isn't lost on Nausicaa. The fighting is very cool and tactical. I love the weapons, armor, and ships of the different people of Nausicaa's world. Kurotoa and Aspel's piling duel was legendary, and the formations and tactical fighting of Kushana's regiment was clearly inspired by kings and generals. How these pincer attacks and formations have Nausicaa at the head fighting in a non-lethal manner only to save people using her siren shells, a confusing and unfamiliar gun shell from her land in the Valley of the Wind, to scare away the enemy horses collapsing their lines to avoid two bloody frontal clashes, and then inspired by this kindness to human life, some of Kushana's best men volunteered to guide Nausicaa away safely from the battle, and Nausicaa crying at their deaths and holding on to every second of hope to try to save them as they sacrificed their lives for her. Very grand. There are two great plot moments I want to talk about. Like the film, the first arc revolves around the Holy One seeing Nausicaa, standing in a field of gold, and then seeing her speak into the heart of the Omu. So beautiful. Unmatched conclusion to the film and that part of the manga. The other is the worm handlers and the forest people celebrating as a new toxic jungle flowers. I really like how your perspective shifts around the toxic jungle, seeing the miasma-ridden sea of corruption as this Chernobyl-like wasteland of horror. How dark and twisted the toxic jungle first seems, a god-given punishment for the folly of man. Then seeing its beauty with how its purpose is cleaning the poisons from the world to rebirth it anew. The animals are scary and alien-like in appearance, yet the reader comes to love the Omu and the insects, just as Nausicaa and some other characters come to understand the Omu's lovely nature. Understanding the forest as a force of good, like the Omu, is a great revelation. It's also cool to see how people can live full lives within the forest through adaptation and innovative survival methods. The forest people are unparalleled nomads, them living in harmony with the forest. In this world already so against anything related to the toxic jungle, they are a soulful and glorious people. The love for their prized worms and their epic loot. My prized worm! Nausicaa's manga lived up to and far surpassed my expectations. It expanded from the film's story with so much alluring creativity and unrivaled under heaven plot genius. How fascinating and interesting the world is because of the mystery of these wars of horror and what they destroyed. The world of Nausicaa is scribed to great detail and depth. It is a monolith of creativity, filled with so many things to appreciate. The drawings, the architecture, the history, the people and characters of the world, the meaning and message of it all. Appreciating even the most toxic of mushroom or venomous insect. The kind-heartedness and hope for humanity. Unconditional love for your people no matter their flaws. No enemies. Trained to be strong like Eupa. Hopeful like Nausicaa, awesome like Aspel, a leader like Kushana, fly like Kurotoa, be Mido like Mido, willing to change and overcome your bad nature like Via. There is an incredible statement on humanity made at the end of Nausicaa. They see a man-made god, whose purpose is to see off the extinction of mankind, so that an artificially created human race, made to be pure without violence, will take humanity's current place once the toxic jungle is done purifying the earth. The question is, can you even call that a human? We humans are the way we are because of our true God-given freedom. We are not designed in a lab to be a certain way and follow pre-made parameters. We are completely free of mind. That's what makes us what we are. are. The creatures meant to replace humanity aren't humans, and to have their plan work, the humans Nausicaa loves would all have to die. Nausicaa goes against the man-made god, destroying it. She accepts because of human nature and the freedoms we are granted. Bad things will be done by human hands, but Nausicaa will always fight against that injustice and be a beacon of hope and love to humanity, trying to save everyone, whether animal or human. Nausicaa's consistent commitment to her values lifts humanity from the deepest pits of hatred and despair. In the end, the blue-clad one is standing in a field of gold. Like Akira, it is the creation of a popular film that I never see discussed in the zeitgeist of today's culture. It is so unknown and unspoken of. These two true tellings of their film counterparts are both so amazing, creative and expansive to what the film shows. Akira starts similar to the film, but adds entire new eras and plots. It expands the story so much, and the film to Nausicaa is amazing, but the manga is so dissimilar to it. Even the start of the story, it follows similar beats, but it just has more to it. Please read both of these. If you have interest in either of these worlds, Nausicaa's manga is now in my top 3 favorite pieces of media of all time, and Akira isn't far behind. On a serious note, despite some people viewing the Tolmekian War against the principalities of Darok as an unjustified material war purely for wealth and resources, that statement is total blasphemy and untrue. The suspicions of the Tolmekian Emperor Via were correctly founded. There were in fact dark, horrid evils being held within the ancient tomb of Darok, a being intent to kill off all of mankind, a false man-made god which they submitted themselves to, and sacrificed innocent lives in tribute to this god to fulfill its plan of genocide. The demon land of Darok was the true villain to humanity. Glory to Tolmekia.